So we're about to manage the offseason of the Los Angeles Clippers, or as I would call them, the 40 million bros. I don't know if you looked at the salaries of their top two players that didn't play in the playoffs, essentially, but 40 million apiece, really. And this Clippers experiment has now been like 5 seasons. And that shocks me to the core because neither Paul George or Kawhi Leonard have really been able to maintain the health that we've wanted. Both of them individually have had impressive playoff outings and regular season outings, but it's just never come to fruition. And they're filled with a bunch of other talented vets who are on interesting contracts and they're trying to win. And there's no reason for me to pivot, really. I haven't been sensible all evening with any of the things that I've said. And I feel the exact same about the Clippers, but I'm in blow it up territory yet again because you've got a lot of money sewn up. It's luxury tax season. And I don't know. I just like, you know what? I don't feel content just to pay for first and second round playoff exits every single year. And we have seen it now for multiple seasons. It isn't going to happen. And that's okay. Not everyone wins the championship. In fact, 29 teams don't win the championship every year, but something's got to be done. And you're talking about two $40 million contracts of players that have potential, but haven't lived up to potential in your team. We talked about this. I'm going to throw it back a little bit to the Wembanyama thing. You take Wembanyama number one, irrelevant of what happens, right? Because the talent is there, and if he gets injured, well, who could have foreseen it? With these two players now, we have seen the talent and seen the injury history. So what we do is we make a choice. We've seen this and we've seen this. We can make a trade, make an acquisition, and hope that we get this, but we know that we could also get this. The Clippers could choose to hold on to Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, and they could hope that the potential comes through and the injuries don't. I am saying that for the sake of everyone, you get off these contracts and you get off these players and you call it a disappointment, not because of talent, but because of injuries. And so here are my potential trades. Kawhi Leonard is heading down to Miami. Let's assume that Miami doesn't finish the job here and they feel like they're one piece away and they have a really good fitness program and they love load management. And Lowry, too old, too expensive. Duncan Robertson, his value's high right now. We can flip Lowry and Robinson and maybe a pick or two if that helps people swallow this trade better for Kawhi Leonard. They tried the dual forward thing in Miami. Both of them aren't going to play the whole season, but Miami's cool with it. And Miami's just proven that they can come in at any seed and be competitive. I reckon Kawhi Leonard's going to like the warm weather. It's going to be good for his joints. That's what I'm doing with him. And so we're up to Paul George now. So the other 40 million bro who needs to head out of there. And he is heading to team up with Luca. And he is going to be received for Tim Hardaway, Davis Bertans, and Reggie Bullock. And you might be thinking, why would the Clippers do this? We're trying to make them better. We're trying to win because you're always about winning the championship next season. Well, I just don't, they're not going to. And so you get off these two players. You get off Kawhi for Lowry and Robinson, and you get off PG for Hardaway, Bertans, and Bullock. And you just let these contracts expire and you try to do something in 2, 3 years. Because that's my third piece of advice. That's my third move as GM here. We're losing. It's okay. We're done. We're done being competitive. We tried Lob City and it didn't work. And we tried the duo forwards and it didn't work. And now it's time to lose for a bit. And it's time to go back to the Clippers that we know and love, where it's an easy dub on the schedule. And when you go to LA, you know that it's going to be limelight at LA, and then you know you can go out partying for the next day when you verse the Clippers. How do you feel knowing that Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are going out for Lowry, Robertson, Hardaway, Bertans, and Bullock?
I think if you were an actual LA Clippers employee in any capacity, even if you were the ball boy, Steve Ballmer should come in and kick you to the curb or trade you for some bananas because your takes are literally bananas right now. Because look, I'm mind blown that you have fallen in love with the trade machine, but forgotten the whole point of making trades is to try to improve your team or set a direction. And you're basically saying take the Clippers back to the Clippers of the 90s. They might as well bring back Donald Sterling to be the ownership and just make them irrelevant again. All right, you're literally saying that the Clippers should just become irrelevant again, while they obviously have probably, I think, arguably one of the richest owners in the league. They currently obviously have Kawhi and PG under contract for 3 more years. Yes, at 40 million each, which you alluded to. All right, and they want to win. Okay, that's it. They're win now mode. I'm gonna feel like this Steve Ballmer era in the Clippers, however long it lasts, is gonna be a win now mode every single year. I don't know. I don't think that that's the plan there to sort of let's go back to the lottery sort of situation. And I guess he has the deep pockets to go out there and sign a third superstar. And I'm saying that's what they probably need to do. So let me break down a couple of my moves here, which again probably not as hard to follow as some of yours. I was jotting down. So who's on this team now? Like I've lost it now. So what? Zach Collins is suddenly the starting center. I don't know, but is Zubac still there? So I think so. So I don't know, but look, basically my first one here is they do need to bubble wrap Kawhi and PG. I don't know how that looks, okay, but you got to do what you got to do. All right, I don't know whether you got to go and I don't know. Load management, probably one part. Okay. Probably level of treatment and rehab and recovery and blah 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 is another part. I'm not going to pretend I'm some sports science, specialist or anything like that. But there's many experts out there that are, really experts in this sort of field. I think you go out there and you find these people, you bring them on board, you pay them. Okay, I think this is the point that I'm trying to make here, Steve Ballmer. You got to go probably continue to increase your, your payload here if you want to make the Clippers relevant, if you want to win that ring. Two, you do not re-sign Russell Westbrook. All right, I think you didn't really touch upon that, but I don't know which way you're leaning there. Clearly, I've sort of made the case all along that as much as Russell Westbrook became much more relatable this year, I don't know if you agree with this, but I feel like you sort of related to him and his challenges a lot more in the last season, where everyone sort of hated on him so much that it was sort of like really unfair, and I think that was true. I think it was unfair. Okay, I still come back to the fact here that I don't think Russell Westbrook is a winning player. He's such a hard player to sort of put into a team and have his skill set translate into winning, and his style of play translate into winning. So I don't think you need to necessarily bring him back. And therefore, my trade here, all right, which I believe does add up and turn green on the trade machine, is you put Eric Gordon, Marcus Morris, Zubac, Covington, and Batum. So that's a whole lot of players that you do have to, core players here that are not your superstars on the block, and you bring in Lillard and you bring in Nurkic. I'm saying that you make a swing here for Lillard and Nurkic, and that turns green. That Lillard, Nurkic, PG, and Kawhi, if all healthy, can really, well, firstly, make it interesting, but secondly, and more importantly, win it all. And I think here's my last footnote that I want to add here for Steve Ballmer and Clippers fans in general. Nobody remembers the 29 runner-ups. I think that's the reality. No one remembers the 29 runners-ups. So you got to go out there and win a ring. You got to go away and put in your millions and millions of dollars, all right, as an organization to go win a ring, and then you will be remembered. And I think the Clippers are in a position where they can win a ring with some health and some luck and some moves that I'm suggesting.
Okay. Well, I look forward to seeing the Clippers hoist the almost won it yet again, if not for an injury to Kawhi and or Paul George in 2023/2024. So
This is two guys with spare time. I'm Fowles, this is Nick. You're probably a basketball fan like us, so hopefully you can throw us an assist and giving our video a like and subscribing to our channel.
And if you got thoughts, feelings, or even some suggestions, please put them down in the comment section below. And thank you for using your spare time to watch us in our spare time.